Hi, everyone. As many of you know, early Thursday morning, Republicans in the House passed President Trump's reckless budget scheme with some changes made in the 11th hour. For about 29 hours straight in committee and on the House floor, my colleagues and I made the case against devastating cuts to Medicaid, Medicare, the Affordable Care Act, and food assistance. This legislation will take health care away from 36,000 granite staters, including children, people with disabilities, and families that are working really hard. It will also slash SNAP, taking food away from hungry kids and people struggling to make ends meet, all to give tax breaks to billionaires and the biggest corporations. The incomes of the wealthiest 10% of Americans would go up under this bill, while the incomes of the poorest 10% of Americans would go down. And on top of it all, the bill adds an estimated $4 trillion to the debt, which will trigger future cuts to Medicare. I want you to know that this fight is not over. If the Senate makes any changes to the legislation, which we anticipate, then the House will need to vote on it again. So I'm grateful for everyone who has reached out to remind me about what's important. May Beth Anderson from Dover told me about her grandson with autism. They have limited Social Security income and depend on Medicaid to pay for his health care, including supportive services that he receives at school. Cindy Curry in Bedford shared with me that her daughter is a single mom to a son born with a life-threatening birth defect. Her daughter isn't able to work because she needs to care for her child and his medical needs, and Medicaid makes that possible. Catherine from Manchester is an Air Force veteran currently living in transitional housing and relies on SNAP to maintain the healthy diet that she needs. She worries that losing food assistance would drastically harm her health and risk her life. And like too many families across our state, a Newmarket resident wrote in to say that SNAP is so important and they wouldn't be able to afford food every month without it. These are some of the people that I'm thinking about as we continue our work. And I know there are so many more folks like this across New Hampshire who matter and who deserve our support. So thanks again for reaching out, and we'll talk to you all soon.